So Big Picture has now made appointments of people. Can you tell me about this, Jo, and what happened?
Yes, the project team, we have a curatorial appointment, and that is in fact 2 people. I'll just go through the team. The curatorial appointment, we have a learning and engagement appointment. We have an administrator, a marketing officer, a project producer, which kind of holds the whole team together, and then there's a development contract which looks to the future, which is sort of slightly separate, so we leave that to one side. Those people are really test driving. If we are to merge, we may be looking at merging as an organisation and looking at the visual arts function in Dorset, and that's sort of what we're exploring through Big Picture. And this team is a potential framework for that organisation, so that's kind of what we're test driving within this project. Those appointments, in our funding application, we said they would be made largely from within Big Picture, both to develop the capacity of the organisation and to work with the people that we had, rather than drawing in new people from the outside who were new to the project and perhaps not so committed, and that kind of issue. One of the difficulties we've had, and it's been a very interesting process, is how we made those appointments, how we actually asked people to apply, and how we then made the selection. And we thought about it and actually managed it far too fast and didn't consider it in detail. And we did have had 1 or 2 problems around that. What we should have done, and what we didn't do, is have an external person on each appointment panel, and what we also didn't do is have one person common to each of those appointment panels, so to actually kind of keep the whole team together and have a consistent voice throughout. We did write job descriptions, and quite rigorously, and work them up from our funding application, and we did have a proper application process, and sending CVs in and sending time milestones and what skills you can bring and all of that kind of thing. But the downside was the actual selection process, and that has caused some problems within the organisation, where there has been a sense of sort of unfairness around whether each appointment was made equally. It was an equal playing field for each of the appointments.
So you would do it differently for the next phase?
We certainly would do it differently, and we've discussed that at length within the organisation. We've decided that we would definitely have an external person and have a common person throughout. And we have also decided that we would offer them more widely outside of the organisation. In the case that we were working with, actually only one person applied for each of the contracts, and so that in itself was a sort of equal opportunities issue that we hadn't really imagined would be the case, and turned out to be so, and we just had to deal with it because of our time frames.